Hola, amigos. So I am Barbie Lee, and you are here because you want to come to Mexico. Now, whether you're thinking about making a move here, coming here for a few months or a couple of years, whatever. So this is going to be a general information session about how to move to Mexico with some specific information about Mazatlan, because that's where I happen to be. I have a little bit of information about other places as well. But I am here tonight because there's been such a huge influx of people having a conversation. Well, how did you get to Mexico? How did you move to Mexico? So here we are. This is what I'm going to talk to you about tonight. Now, I am Barbie Lee. Oh, there we go. I am Barbie Lee. This is my husband, Dwayne. And in January 2018, I came to Mazatlan in Mexico because I wanted to be warm, right? I was tired of the Canadian winters. I was tired of being cold all the time. And I just wanted to be warm. So I had a friend living in Mazatlan. That's how I ended up here. I had a friend here who could help me find a place to rent. So it was great. I came back again in January. And then there was this big world event that happened kind of March of 2020. All the world changed, let's say. I was repatriated. But I couldn't stay in Canada because I knew I couldn't do the winters. I knew I couldn't do the stuff that was going down and saying, you stay home, that kind of thing. If you ever hear me stumble tonight, it's because this is my second time I'm doing this recording. I did it live and we used some words that would get me filtered on YouTube, and I don't want to be filtered. So if you hear me stumbling for words, it's because there's some certain keywords that I'm keeping out of my vocabulary. Okay. It's not because I'm stuttering, it's because I'm thinking. All right. So I got back here in December of 2020, and now I'm staying. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how to come to Mexico, how long you can stay, and things like that. So very first quick disclaimer, this is not my business. I'm not here to sell you to buy, my program on how to move to Mexico or anything like that. I am here simply to tell you that you can move to Mexico. I have some information. I'm here to help you. My business, so you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner here, is Quality of Life Assurance. I am 100% committed to helping people live until they die. So under my Quality of Life Assurance, I have a network marketing company. It's online. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But this isn't my business saying, hey, pay me $100 or $1,000 and I'll show you how to go to Mexico. That's not what I do. That's not my intention here tonight. This is just some basic information about how to move to Mexico. So why do you want to come to Mexico? I told you, I want to be warm, right? That's why I came here, because I want to be warm. Now, right now, a lot of people want to get rid of, the stuff that's going down. Maybe they're feeling oppressed or repressed or depressed, and maybe they just need a change. Maybe you need it for a month or 2 or 6, or maybe you need it for more. But that's what tonight is going to talk to you about, or this video is going to talk to you about. So these are the things we're going to cover. Tourist cards and visas, where do you stay, right? Food, shelter, and clothing, right? Like food, money, shelter kind of thing. Health, medical, working. Is it safe? That's one of the biggest questions I get. Is Mexico safe? I hear it's not very safe. Well, I'm going to tell you straight up. First of all, I'm a 52-year-old female, and I have no qualms about being in Mexico. And we'll get to that. And of course, fun, and my favorite, which is quality of life. So when you first land in Mazatlan, in Mexico, pardon me, you can stay up to 180 days. They give you this little green card, they fill it in at the airport, and you keep that in your passport. That must be valid for up to 6 months. And then they send you on your merry way and you go to whatever hotel or Airbnb or whatever you're staying at. If you decide to overstay your 180 days, according to the website, it says you will pay no more of a maximum of no more than 6,000 pesos, which is about 400 Canadian dollars. If you stay past 180 days. I've never known anybody to actually pay a fee. Actually, that's not true. I think one person, because they went to immigration. But typically what happens is people go to the airport and go, oh, I lost my green card. And they pay 590 pesos for a new green card. And then, they just leave the country. I don't know if there's all of a sudden going to be some tracking or something and say, oh no, you arrived on this day. Now there's going to be a fine. I don't know. I'm just telling you in the past up until today, right? And this is being recorded on September 23rd, 2021. So that's what I know right now. Now, you can get a temporary resident card. So if you're like, I want out, I want to go through the channels so that I don't have to leave that country for at least 4 years, you must apply for this card starting in your home country. So I am from Edmonton, Alberta. I would have had to go to Calgary, set an appointment, go to the Mexican consulate, meet the financial requirements and so on, and then go back and forth for 4 years to get this done. Now, right now, And as of this day, well, 2 Fridays ago, I know this program was still available. So there were many of us that came this winter, or the people that came before the whole world had its temporary insanity plea. And they stayed past their 180 days. And they were just going to stay and figure it out later. And then immigration opened up a program for temporary residency if you had an expired tourist visa. So all I did is I took my expired visa and I went to the immigration office and I said, hey, I'm like, do I qualify for this new program? They said, oh, I don't know. They walk in the back. She comes back. She fills out a bunch of paperwork. I have like a bunch of steps to go through, but in 5 hours and 13,000, almost 14,000 pesos later, which is about $900, I now have a 4-year temporary residency card. I do not know if that program will continue or how long it'll continue, but I know 2 weeks ago, my friend got it. I don't know. Someone says, oh, I'll go check that immigration and find out. I said, great, please keep me posted. After your temporary card, you then get permanent residency if you so desire. There's some really strict guidelines. So if you're seriously thinking about a long-term move to Mexico, you want to go through this process. Now, if you're going to buy property, I know a lot of people that come down here on a tourist visa, fly back into the States or Canada, stay there for a day or two, whatever, do some shopping, come back and get another 6 months. And they've been doing that for years. Now, that's what people have done for years. Again, Mexico may kick up their tracking system and say, oh, you've done that a few times. You can't do that anymore. I don't know. But as of right now and today, now, one of the challenges is getting into the US or getting into Canada, right? That's why a lot of people are saying, hey, I want to move to Mexico. So that's just a thing that you need to know is possible, because I'm here to give you all information, right? Now, I'm going to talk about Mazatlán specifically when it comes to a couple of things, but a lot of them are, for other cities and stuff, Puerto Vallarta and Merida, you can take this information and kind of apply it to there. Obviously, the map is going to be different. So in Mazatlán, when I'm going to talk about accommodations in a minute, these are kind of the 3 central areas that a lot of the expats and snowbirds kind of hang out in. I say anything, kind of 6 to 8 blocks towards the beach. That's my favorite areas. You'll see that Mazatlán is a city of 500,000 people. Like, we have 500,000 people. We got a couple of Walmarts, some Sam's Clubs, some big grocery stores called Sorianas and Lays, and you can buy like motorcycles in a Sorianas. Okay. So it's not like it's a little hick town out in the middle of nowhere. It's a vibrant beach city. Okay. But still small town feel. So accommodations in Mazatlán and anywhere in Mexico, you can rent an apartment for weeks, days, months at a time. All right. If you buy and you're not a resident, when you sell, just so you know, you're going to pay a huge extra, like a 30% tax on your money. That's why if you want to buy here, you want to be a resident. If you are just coming down to rent, a lot of people start by doing an Airbnb first, and then they find a rental when they're here. Now, there's lots of Facebook groups here in Mazatlán. So all I typed in Facebook. Now, I know Facebook does a lot of censoring, but they do a lot of good too. So in a situation like this, there's a lot of good, because look at what pops up. Only rentals, Mazatlán snowbird rentals, Mazatlán area long-term rentals. And then you're like, hey, they're even doing an expats and activity group in Mazatlán. I'm thinking that I want to go to Manzanillo for maybe December, January. So I typed in Manzanillo expats and I got a couple of groups there. So now I'm in conversation with people that live in Manzanillo. You can do it in Tulum and Puerto Vallarta and Playa del Carmen, Merida, anywhere you want to go. Okay. I told you, I'm just showing you how it works for Mazatlán. You have to apply this knowledge to other cities. So a couple of examples of where you can live in Mazatlán. So this one here, that's not the whole house. That's 1,350 Canadian. You can see in the middle picture there, it's a kind of a bachelor suite. There's one little bedroom in the back. It's just a sweet little room in somebody's home in the El Cid. The one to the right here is a 1-bedroom apartment. And you can see very modern, very well kept. This is another 1-bedroom. This is on the upper level of a house. Actually, you have to go up 2 flights of stairs, I believe, to get to this one. You'll see it's not very large. It has a bed, little table, little chairs. But if you're just coming down for a little bit and you want to stay someplace, I found these in that Facebook group, in the Snowbird rental group. And if you want to stay like, woo, big and fancy, you can do that too, right? These apartments are in the marina area. They're 3-bedroom, 3-bath, fully furnished, fully stocked. 3 or 5 pools in their backyards, marina view, all that kind of stuff. So whatever your budget is, you can find something to rent down here. There's even an eco village. So some people have said, I got to get out of the world. I got to stop the world, stop it from spinning. I want to get off. Well, in Mexico, there's an eco village. And if you're really serious about that, the eco village Sembrado Vida is run by a couple of my friends, and check them out. You can find them on Facebook or go to their WordPress or their website and check out what they're doing. You can buy a plot of land, build a house. It's a very sustainable community. So you have to be really interested in sustainable communities, and a community kitchen. You can have one in your house, but they do a lot of meditation, and they want to make it a retreat center, stuff like that. So people have been asking. So there's that bit of information. Now, in Mazatlán, or in Mexico, pardon me, the money is pesos. Now, a lot of people have said to me, oh, I hear bring American dollars. And I say, if you don't want to have the best exchange rate, sure, bring American dollars. But in this country, they deal with pesos. If you want to pay in American dollars, you will get money back in pesos. Now, some, like the taxi drivers, might take your pesos, but a small shop, or take your dollars, but a small shop might not. So don't come down with Canadian American and expect to, think, oh, the Mexicans will love this money. No, to them, it's plain money. They can't do anything with it. Now they can take it to the exchange places, the cambio, but they get a bad exchange rate out. So please come with pesos. If you see a price in dólares when you're looking for rentals and stuff, it means they're quoting you in US prices, and always ask for things in pesos. Always ask for pesos, especially Canadians ask for pesos. Now, I have a Scotiabank account, and there are 2 Scotiabanks here in Mazatlán, and there's, throughout Mexico, there's other ones. And I have no transaction fees and no conversion fees because I have an account. So I pay $3.95 in my Canadian account. I have my main account in Canada, and I transfer over like $1,000 at a time. And my travel account, this is my Scotia account. And then, I take out as I need. Now, this is just a little safety hack, right? I don't come down with a bank account with a couple $100,000 in it and have a bank card so that, I can get myself into trouble and somebody kidnaps me and takes all my money. I'm not saying that happens, but it might happen, because I'm a smart, savvy traveler. So I only keep little bits of money in my account at a time. ATMs are plentiful here. So if you want to come down with just your debit card, you can, but you're going to pay a lot in the transaction and the service fees, anywhere from $3 to $30 a transaction. And I'm not even joking, because you get a transaction fee, then your bank charges you a transaction fee, and then you have a conversion fee, and then your bank charges you a conversion fee, and it just gets crazy. So if you're planning, come down with either a Scotiabank card, or somebody else told me another one. It has some letters, high-low or high-bow or something. I don't know what it is. Scotiabank to me is like a brick and mortar bank. Okay. What else we talked? Oh, so the cost of food. So we talked about accommodations, talked about how the money works. Now let's talk about the cost of food. I am vegetarian. My bill here is so tiny. Like my food bill is so tiny, it's not even funny. I'll talk about that in a second. Unless I go to a restaurant. My daughter wanted a salad, and I had some French fries. And so like our bill was like $12 with tip for salad and fries. It's not bad pricing. It's not great pricing, because if we would have went to a Mexican taqueria or something like that, we, could have eaten more inexpensively. But as a vegetarian, I don't eat meat. So I'm more limited when I go to the restaurants here in Mazatlán. And actually, a lot of places in Mexico don't have a lot of vegetarian and vegan, but you can find them. Or you learn how to cook for yourself, which is what I do, and it's super inexpensive. Now, we do have regular stores. The one on the left here is the Soriana's, and you can get curry paste and everything, that you get back home. You pay $5. It's, you want to go to Sam's Club, you want to buy your Kit Kat ice cream bars, $14. These are raviolis, spinach-filled raviolis. Or, you go and buy your stuff off the street. So I don't buy the Kit Kat bars. I go to the ice cream dudes on the corner by the church, and I get 3 scoops of ice cream for $2.50. And I'm supporting a local family, and it's a huge amount of ice cream, like seriously, a huge amount of ice cream. So we have options. You go into these pictures are taken at Walmart. Okay. So you can see, potatoes are $1.50 a kilogram, bananas $1 a kilogram, donuts are about 50 cents. Oh, it says $1. It's wrong. Donuts are 50 cents, right? So you can still shop in a Walmart if that makes you feel comfortable. I try and stay out of there as much as possible. I like to shop local. I shop at the local markets. So you can shop where the locals shop, or you can shop where the gringos shop. And gringos, pardon me, that's a slang for us white people. We call ourselves that. A Mexican will never call you that to your face because it's not a good word for them. But it really depends on what you want. So my daughter there is carrying a bag of bananas that cost about $3. There's probably about 10 or 12 bananas in there. In the market where they cater to the tourists and they give you a nice little package of food, 8 strawberries for like $4.25. So now when I'm in the Juarez market over here, where we're buying these bananas, I could buy a liter of strawberries for 40 pesos, so about $2, so a liter. Okay, so just to give you an idea, where you shop with the locals, you get local pricing. But if you buy food like Americans and Canadians like to eat, you're going to pay more because those are imported. But all this fruits and vegetables and locally grown stuff, the meats too, all very inexpensive. But you can shop at Walmart. You can shop at Soriana's. It's all right there for you if you need the comfort of, buying off a shelf or something. Okay. Now, a lot of people have asked me about health and medical insurance. So just like anywhere in any country, it ranges with your age, the kind of coverage you want. Once you're a temporary resident, you do get some basic coverage, but you want to come down with some sort of coverage if, that's your comfort zone. There's thousands of people in Mexico, and I'm sure all over the world, that don't have insurance. I know you're coming from Canada and the US. Well, Canada mostly has, we have coverage, and we're used to having health coverage. And if you're going to make a change to Mexico, then you're going to have to pay for it. Now, you might start off with travel insurance to get down here. And once you're down here and you've established what you're doing, then you can get local insurance. So I put 2 contacts information on the bottom here. Juan is local to Mazatlán, and Sonia is local to Puerto Vallarta. That's where she is. And Juan does, expat kind of, snowbird kind of 3, 6, 9 month kind of things. Sonia helps you figure out insurance, like if you're going to stay long term, only traveling in Mexico and stuff like that. So have a conversation with both of them and see what your needs are. Some people come down with your Alberta healthcare, like your provincial healthcare, for example. And if you say you're leaving the country, you can call them, put it on hold, let them know you're out of the country for a year, but it still counts, if you bought medical insurance or travel insurance outside of the country. Some people, because of the price, come down and they only buy what's called fly out insurance, meaning that if something really serious happens to them, they get on the next plane and the insurance will cover them to fly out. So I'm not an expert in this. Don't ask me anything more than that. Just know that based on your needs, your family, whatever you want, and of course, deductibles, it's going to completely range in prices. But I will tell you some things. Mazatlán has, and all Mexico cities, the big cities, have exceptional medical care. Many of the doctors here have been trained in Canada and the US, and then they come back here to work because A, now they speak English, so they get a lot more clients, but B, they want to help their country, right? So they come back and they give back to their country. So these are what the hospital looks like. The 2 in the top right corner, left corner are where you'll find the English speaking doctors and where a lot of snowbirds and expats go. But this general hospital was just built, and that's for the locals. So it's still a pretty stellar hospital. So for people that go, oh, isn't it like a third world country? No, it is a developing country in certain parts, but in a city of 500,000 people, you get some pretty spectacular healthcare. So here's the bottom line. I'm going to move my head out of the way for a second, because I want you to see that. Okay, so a cleaning at a dentist is about 400 pesos, 25 bucks-ish. You want to go to a regular doctor visit, 300 to maybe 1,500 pesos. My daughter stepped on something, and she got a spiky thing inside of her foot, and we couldn't get it out. So we had to go to the doctor. She gave her a needle, froze it up, dug it out, patched it all up, but it cost us 300 pesos, like 20 bucks, right? A friend of mine had a little bigger of an issue. He fell down. He had to, tape up his ankle and all that kind of stuff. They put not a cast, but kind of this bracey thing on it. So all in was about 100 bucks. You want to get a crown done or wisdom teeth. It's very inexpensive. So you kind of weigh out, what kind of insurance that you need. And that's a personal decision. Okay. A lot of people say, well, how are you making money if you get to work in Mexico? You can get a work visa. So if your company, and I know this is a push button kind of topic, because a lot of people right now are like, I have a certain mandate or something going on at work and I have to get what is that? I have to bug out, right? I got to get out. So you can get a work visa if you're hired for work, like a teacher, or you're in a computer company or something like that, that your company can apply for a work visa for you if they have a company here in Mexico. But please keep in mind, you're going to get paid Mexican wages to work in Mexico, right? I know a woman who's a bookkeeper. She needed 21 clients to live in Surrey, BC. And when she came here, she only needed 15 to live in Mexico. So she has all her Canadian clients. She gets paid in Canadian dollars into her Canadian bank account, but she lives full-time in Mexico. She goes home once or twice a year to kind of see her clients, let them know that she's alive, whatever. But everything's online for her. So there's options, right? There's online options. I had a friend that called me at the beginning of August and said, I need to get the heck out of Edmonton. This is too much for me. I can't handle it. I'm depressed. I don't want to leave the house. And I said, well, come to Mazatlán. She goes, okay, I need to figure this out. Tell me how much money I need. And I said, a single person could live very comfortably at about $1,200 a month. And that doesn't mean you double it if you're a couple, whatever. Like my husband and I, $1,500, if you know what I mean? Like we don't need a lot. We're not big fancy spenders. We don't eat out all the time. And even if we could, because some of the restaurants are super inexpensive, but we don't need a lot. That's what I'm saying. So if you can find something online, and like what I do online is network marketing, and I really invite people to take a serious look. Maybe somebody in network marketing, but truly you can, where there is a will, there is a way. So when my friend called me up the 1st of August, and she's like, I need to get out of Edmonton. She goes, I have a little pension. Can I make it work? And she told me, and I said, yeah, you can make that work. I said, you might not live in the best neighborhood at first, but when you get here and you meet some people, I said, you might even like to find yourself a roommate, because there's a lot of single people that would love a roommate to upgrade their homes, right? And she ended up talking to her boss. So she does graphics design for a sign shop in Edmonton. And he said, let's figure out how to get you to work remotely. And so now every day she logs into her office work, her computer in the office in Edmonton, and does the work. So there are ways to do it. I have a really good way. I'm so excited about my quality of life assurance, and it's network marketing, right? So my business is 100% online. And basically what I get to do every day, all day, is say to people, are you these people on the top line? Are you stressed, overweight? Do you have too many bills? Are you worried about getting sick or being sick? Or, do you want to be vibrant and healthy and free and just have this sense of, kind of in your life? Because that's what I help people do. I told you my business is not to help people move to Mexico. It's helping people take their life into their own hands and truly live until they die. So I help them start with their health. We help them improve their wealth because it's network marketing. And then we repeat because it's network marketing. So the more people you help, the better. So people say, what do I have to do? It's easy. You eat better. You want a better lunch, breakfast, dinner, that kind of thing. We even have collagen here in Mexico. So you open your healthy living account and you choose only the foods you want to eat. You can open an account in Canada, get started there, and then you get an international membership. That's what I have here in Mexico. So now I have customers in Edmonton, in Canada, in the US, in the UK, in Australia, and in Mexico, all from the comfort of my computer, because I said yes to Isagenix and opening my own healthy living account and helping others do the same. So my business is in Canada. I am not employed in Mexico. I have a Canadian business that I pay Canadian taxes on, but I get to work out of Mexico because this is where I live and I get to do it online. So I order my products every month, and then I share and I repeat. I order, I share, repeat. I order, I share, repeat. You guys share on Facebook and Instagram and everything all the time. Most of you got here because I shared the fact that I was doing an info session in a Facebook group, and most of you got here because of that, or in my meetups group. We share information all the time. We just don't get paid for it. So I teach people how to get paid for it. And that's what I love about it. And people always say, well, what kind of money could you make? Could I make? Whatever. So in Isagenix example, or for example, we have a binary system. Don't worry about those words. Just know that when you help a couple people, you can make some money. And I make money online so I can live in Mexico and have an offline life. That's what I tell people. I do not spend 8 to 10 hours a day working on my isogenics business. I play pickleball, I meditate, I play in the water, I go for walks and ice creams with friends, and I get paid. So I help people and get paid. That's what I do. So if you're looking for an online business to help you facilitate a move to another country, please talk to me, because like I said, we do business in 26 countries. Okay. So like I said, it's network marketing. It's not net play marketing. It's not net sit on your butt marketing. It's network marketing. Online, 26 countries. And for a cost of about 200 Canadian dollars a month in edible products, you're in business. You need a computer or a smartphone and about $200 a month to buy your products. That's it. You can check it out at Quality of Life Assurance. I told you, I don't help people move to Mexico for a living. I help people have a quality of life, and possibly if they want to use Mexico as their quality of life assurance plan, I can help you with that. So there's safety. People are always like, that's my favorite question. I laugh. Is it safe? No, sweetheart. I live, with a gun on my hip and behind bars. Well, actually, we do live behind bars, but it's different. It's decorative and it's protection. But yes, it is absolutely safe. And I don't mean to be facetious and sarcastic, but it's like any big city or any city anywhere. And you know what? If you've ever been to New York, right, you can walk down the streets by yourself. It's fine. But you also know there's certain areas you won't walk down. You can walk down certain streets in Edmonton by yourself, no problem. But there's other streets and alleys and backways you would not go by yourself. So just be smart. Okay. Are there safer neighborhoods than others? Of course there are, right? That's what having somebody in the area to help you find a place. So when my friend was coming from Edmonton and she's like, okay, I found some Airbnbs. I said, well, send me the link, find out exactly where they are, and I'll tell you if you want to move into that neighborhood or not. So the first 3 she sent me, I went, nope, yep. And then she stayed in the third one and she loves it. She loves her neighborhood. Is it safe for solo travelers? Yes, I've been here twice by myself. Now my husband is here with me full time. But I still go out all the time by myself. The other night I went for a walk along Mazatlán. I went swimming in the ocean by myself. It's not a problem. Can you bring kids? Yes. Mexico is crazy for the kids. Like there are kids everywhere. Everybody watches out for kids. I was watching this kid once on the beach, and the water started to come up and she kind of goes like this, and she's about 2, right? She's just all by herself. I'm kind of keeping an eye. Some lady comes, plucks her up, walks, puts her back, and just keeps on walking. It wasn't even her kid. And she moved her out of the way, and some other lady over, waves. It's how they do it. Now here in Mazatlán, it's a huge expat town too. So there's a ton of retirees. So you don't have to worry about being lonely, or, we have a Facebook group here. We have a few of them, and people post all the time. We have a breakfast club, a lunch group. I run a group called Mindful in Mazatlán, where we do meditation and conscious conversations and stuff. It is very safe. You start carrying drugs and a gun, you're going to start running into people that are carrying drugs and a gun. If that's what you want to do, hang up right now, because I'm not here to help you, because you're not the kind of people that we want in Mexico, just so you know. Okay, sidebar. All right, getting around. How do you get around? So every major city in Mexico has Uber, Didi, and UDriver. All apps. You've probably used Uber before. You may or may not know of Didi. I prefer Didi because it's an all cash app. Uber, you can use your credit card, but then the drivers don't get paid right away. So even if you use Uber, please use cash. Always option is the cash. Then here in Mazatlán, we have these things, these little white golf carts. They're called pulmonillas. They're a hoot. You negotiate your price before you get in. And he's a taxi driver and takes you in. We have taxis too. I just, just pictures of a taxi. You don't really need a picture of that. Or you get these big red trucks. A few of you get together, you rent a truck, you travel down the street, and, you just have a gay old time. That's how I move actually in and around Mazatlán. Every time I've moved houses, I call up my friend Miguel, who speaks English. I tell him when I need him. We put all my stuff in the back of his truck. He takes me to my new location, and boom, there we go. Now, when it comes to, back to getting around, the bus system in Mazatlán and in most of the cities are pretty awesome, because that is the primary form of transportation for Mexicans. Even getting from city to city in Mexico, oh my God. So my friend Jane, she's 83 or 84. She only travels by bus. They are luxury motor coasts, Wi-Fi included, TV, your own personal TV, snack bars where you buy things. Like, it's just crazy fancy, big reclining seats. Like many people leave Mazatlan on an overnight bus to Puerto Vallarta. And it's a 9-hour or 6-hour bus ride because they sleep on the bus because it's $30 to get from here to there. I'm going to mute for a second because I need to cough. So give me a second. That's what happens when you talk 30 minutes straight. All right. So getting around Mexico, even flying between Mexican cities are extremely inexpensive. Now, we all want to come to Mexico because it's fun, right? Because it's warm, the beach. Well, inland doesn't have a beach, but maybe you're jungly. Maybe you want to go stay in the jungles. That's fine too. But there's always dancing and live music. Like Mexicans love to party, and each little area of the country has their own music, right? So here in Sinaloa, it's the bandas, and different parts have the mariachis and all their different things. The food is always spectacular, and again, different areas of Mexico have different food. Karaoke is a big thing. There's a bar up the road that you pay 10 pesos, and when your song comes up, you get to sing. So you pay 10 pesos, so what, 80 cents to sing a song. There is pickleball for those of you that are interested in pickleball, tennis, golf, hiking. It all happens all over. I put a question mark beside hiking because in Mazatlán, there's not a lot of it. There's up and down the El Faro, a hill where the lighthouse is. But a beautiful view. If you remember that first picture of Dwayne and I, beautiful view of the city and the ocean. This is my fun in Mazatlán, okay? The beaches, playing pickleball, and crashing waves on the rocks. This is what I love about being here. I'm never bored if I can walk to the beach and play in the water or watch the waves crash or play pickleball. Now I do all kinds of other things. Like I said, my meditation, we go for walks, we hang out with friends, go to the market, whatever it is, right? But there's always something to do because it's an outdoor lifestyle. So for those of you that are coming into some harsh winter weather, this is the serious time to think about it. Now, remember how I talked about my business is qualitylifeassurance.com, right? I am all about quality of life. People said, why did you go to Mazatlán? Well, straight up, my internal body, this human body that, God has blessed me with to use on this planet at this time, has some challenges, some health challenges, some physical challenges, and being cold makes them worse. So a couple of years ago, when my husband and I were talking, I said, I can't do a winter, and we couldn't retire, and I didn't want to retire, and my Isogenics income, my online income, wasn't enough for him to retire and keep our house and all that kind of stuff. So I came down without him. He came down a couple of weeks, and I stayed like 3 months that time, stayed a couple of weeks, whatever. And then over the last few years, we're like, no, we want to be together. We want this to happen. So here we are together. Okay. This is the joy of my online business is you can start building now, even before you get here, and continue to build while you're here. Like it's fantastic. But the self-care available, the quality of life self-care here in Mazatlán and most of places around Mexico, it's super inexpensive. Like I have a chiropractor. She is also a massage therapist. So she gives me a massage. So I get a full body massage, and she's like, she massages, because she's a chiropractor too. And then she adjusts me. And it is the most heavenly experience in therapeutics that I have found here in Mazatlán. And it's 450 pesos, which is like $30 for an hour massage and that 15 or 20-minute chiropractor appointment. And she doesn't stop until because she muscle tests, right? She doesn't stop until your body's aligned. She's phenomenal. My dental care here, I had a crown done in Edmonton, and my husband had dental at that time. My portion was $580. That was, them covering 80%. I had to get it redone here, and it was $520 all in. So just in case you're curious, yes, I went back to my Canadian dentist, and he paid me back the $520 I had to pay here, just so y'all know. Anyway, but you can take classes, yoga, Spanish. You want to take, like I do meditation classes. So there's all kinds of, you want to take cooking classes, all kinds of things. Like, there's a vibrant expat community here in Mazatlán. There's one in Puerto Vallarta, in Mérida, in Bucerías, in Manzanillo, like all over. They have just amazing expat communities. Naturopaths, optional surgery. Let's say women, you have some saggy upper body parts. It's about third of the cost, maybe half of the cost if you were going to get some cosmetic surgery done here. So I'm just saying, your quality of life is far superior here in Mazatlan. Like, just take a breath for a minute, right? These are pictures that I've taken recently here this last year. So this is the first one is one of my favorite places to go for the sunset. The other one's my other second favorite place to go in the sun. And then I love to make my labyrinths and my walking beach meditations. So I'm all about quality of life. Remember, I tell you, this is what my business is. So moving to Mexico, whether it's just for a few months to just get away from the anger and the stupidity right now, then do that, right? Just figure it out for a couple of months, take a break, regroup, get clear. So my friend who came down here, she was here 2 weeks, and she was just here on Friday night. And before she left, she burst into tears. And she's like, thank you. Like, I feel like so light, like 1,000 pounds lighter. She goes, just thank you. Thank you for being that person who introduced me to this. And you know, I love the gratitude, but I don't do it because of the gratitude. I do it because I get to look in her face and see how happy she is because of this. And if I can help you guys make a decision to come down here, even just for a little bit, you know, try it for a couple of months just to take a break of all the crap, because there's no crap here. Okay. I remember my husband. So some of the stores have the speakers that tell you to stay, you know, keep your distance, whatever. And it was funny because I remember when I called my husband, like, my Spanish has gotten so much better. I understand what the speakers are saying now. And he just laughed. But it's not a thing here. If you're not wearing one of those face things, nobody says anything, right? Now, they did talk about some sort of cards to get into the stores and stuff, but the mayor did it without the president's, you know, saying that it's really a thing. So he really shouldn't have done it. And the lawyers took him to court. So it's not really a thing. People will tell you it's a thing, but it's not really a thing. I don't get bothered. People don't get bothered. So what if you couldn't eat in that restaurant today? You can't do that at home anyways. Do takeout, right? Whatever. Go to sit on the beach. Call Uber. You know, Uber Eats from the beach. They'll deliver right to where you're sitting on the wall on the beach, right? Overlooking the ocean. So my thing is for this, you guys, life is too short. We've known this last 19 months what it feels like to be tied down and our hands tied. And my heart breaks. My heart breaks for the people that feel stuck. And I say, please just let me show you. You know, when I tell people that a 2x2x2, you know, and you can make, you know, $5, $10, $15,000 a month just because you're passionate about helping other people make some money and get healthy. And if you really go to qualityoflifeassurance.com and watch that 2.5-minute video, it'll really show you the simplicity of it. But my question is, if not this, then what? And if not now, then when? Like, you know, are you going to sit and keep being mad at the government and blaming them for things that really, seriously, come on. Like, do you expect them? You know, I saw a meme the other day that said humans are the only species that let the dumbest run their pack. And I'm like, there's no such thing as spare time, free time, downtime. All you got is this lifetime. Go get up off your assets and go and do something. Talk to me. Have a serious one-to-one conversation with me. Have a conversation with me. Have an actual conversation with me. I'm open to that. Okay. My business again is qualityoflifeassurance.com, because I think you truly want to live until you die. You wouldn't be here asking about how to move to Mexico and how to have more freedom if you truly didn't want to live until you die. So, question is, what do you want to know next? Couple of things I just thought of. Okay. In Mazatlan, we have red, yellow, and green zones, right? We say, oh, the city's in a red zone. So, you know, stay home, don't go out too much. We've been in the red zone once since I've been here. Once since I've been here in December. We've been in green forever. Okay. So they really don't want to shut things down. The El Presidente, the Mexican president, knows how this global thing has affected his country. He says, we cannot close this country. We are not going to force anything on anybody. And that's when the mayor here and a couple other cities decided to try and force things on people. The president stepped in and the lawyers stepped in and said, sorry, no way, Jose. Although they didn't call his name's not Jose. Actually, is it Jose? No, it's Oscar. Anyways, they call him the chemist. our mayor here. So is it going to be guaranteed? I don't know. But as long as this president has breath and can do what he needs to do, he's saying, no, Mexico is going to be wide open. Are they making it, difficult for people to get here? No, there's no testing to get here. You can just come. Now, what your airlines do or whatever, I don't know. A couple of other things coming to mind. If you are disabled, if any way you have a walker or something like that, I'm sorry, but Mazatlan is not the place for you. It could be if you, found a ground level apartment on the main drag where you can catch a taxi right away, right out front of your door. But I'm telling you, the sidewalks are not friendly for people that need to walk with canes or stuff like that. Somebody asked me about bringing pets. That's up to airlines. A lot of accommodations totally accommodate pets, no problem. People were asking me about, children and stuff. Absolutely. I actually work with a lady. She runs an English-Spanish school. And there's 2 other schools here that run on Canadian curriculum that actually hire Canadian teachers. So you can totally bring your family. I know a lady that moved from the States with her mom and her handicapped sister so that they could full-time take care of their sister. And the sister isn't like in a wheelchair or anything. She still gets around, but they can get care for her, which is really great because they can afford it. Prescription medications. I have a friend, or had, he's no longer here. Parkinson's, his medication bill was like $500 US a month back in the States, and down here it's like just under 200. So the other $300 that he was allocating, now he pays for a caregiver to help him. So there's really, 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 really good reasons to think about moving to Mexico. Now, people say, am I going to stay here forever? No, it's not my plan. My plan is Bali, Indonesia, like in Indonesia and Bali and Thailand and India and Kenya. And I want to travel. That's my plan. Am I keeping a low profile right now? Yes, because that's where we are right now in this world. But do I want to travel? Yes. Will I one day? Yeah, because I have faith in humanity. I have faith in the people. I have faith in the greater good, the good versus evil, all that kind of stuff. I have faith. And if I have to wait it out 4 or 5 years, okay, I'll do that. And in the meantime, I'm going to stay super healthy with my Isogenics products. I'm going to make some money with my Isogenics business and other things that I do as well. And I'm going to keep assuring my quality of life. I'm going to make sure that I meditate. I'm going to make sure that I'm surrounded by a spiritual community that supports me, that doesn't tear me down. I'm going to stay off of anti-social media. I want to fully live until I die. So if you want to, reach out to me. When you get this in the replay, you can book a time with me on my online schedule at askbarbielee.com. askbarbielee.com. So askbarbielee.com and pick a time, have a conversation with me. Ask me about Mexico. Don't ask me about stuff in the video because I'll just point you back to the video, just so you know, I'm not going to repeat myself. But you want to talk about how to create a life, an online life, so you can live offline. That's me. I'm your go-to girl. So what do you want to know next? Thanks for joining, everybody.